This is how narcissistic this woman is. She actually thinks I needed to get paid by Baldoni's team to say negative things about her. We fought her subpoena and won. She backed down and has now missed the deadline to pursue her harassment of me and my team any further. Sorry, sweetheart, you might want to try harder the next time. She posited that I must have been ensnared in Baldoni's alleged ongoing smear campaign against her, that his attorney, who happens also to be my own from well before his representation of Baldoni, must be controlling our coverage. In addition, she suggested that I was getting paid by Baldoni or by his lawyer, Brian Friedman, for my anti-Blake coverage, demanding to see all documents reflecting this alleged agreement or payment structure. She's a liar. It's obvious. We could go on, but you know the truth. This is yet another entitled, nasty, elitist Hollywood snob who thinks she's untouchable. She believes that anyone who does not worship her must be on the payroll of her enemies. Well, I'm not, Blake. No one has to pay me one dime to say negative things about you. I do it because I believe them and because you really are terrible.
Blake Lively thought she could drag Megyn Kelly into her circus. She allegedly believed a subpoena was going to scare one of the toughest journalists in the country into silence. Instead, Megyn Kelly ripped that subpoena apart and, in my opinion, turned Blake into a punchline. This wasn't just a rejection, it was a demolition. Blake reportedly demanded Megyn's private communications, her sources, her team's documents, even implying that Megyn was being secretly paid off by Justin Baldoni and his lawyer Brian Friedman to criticize her. That's how far gone Blake seems. In her head, people can't just dislike her. They must be bought, brainwashed, or recruited into some smear campaign. She cannot imagine, at least in my view, that her own behavior is what tanked her image. But Megyn didn't just laugh at the claim. She tore it down on her show. She told Blake that no one had to pay her to see what millions of people already saw. Blake's behavior speaks for itself. Megyn even dropped the line that will haunt Blake forever. Don't give away your power, sweetheart. It was you. It was all you. And that's exactly right. Blake created her own mess, then tried to subpoena the world into pretending she didn't. And what did she walk away with? Nothing. Not a single email. Not one text. Not one shred of evidence for her alleged smear campaign theory. She missed the deadline to push her subpoena further, folded, and left the fight looking weaker than ever. The whole stunt ended with Megyn Kelly stronger than ever, and Blake, in my view, looking desperate and ridiculous. But here's the part that really matters. This wasn't just about Megyn. Blake knows she can't win against someone with the resources to fight back. That's why she's been aiming her legal guns at smaller creators, podcasters, YouTubers, independent journalists, people without the money or lawyers to stand up to her. She doesn't want justice. She wants silence, and she's betting that her Hollywood millions and Ryan Reynolds' gin and Deadpool fortune will let her bury the voices that call her out. The pattern is obvious now. Blake insists she's not a bully, but multiple people have claimed she treated them horribly. She insists she's not unlikable, but her behavior has reportedly alienated fans, coworkers, and even her supposed friends. She insists she's a victim of conspiracies, but every time she opens her mouth, she makes her own image worse. If you want proof that Blake Lively, in my opinion, is her own biggest enemy, just look at her subpoena record. Every single one backfires. And this isn't new. Years before she filed her first subpoena, Blake was already building her reputation as Hollywood's mean girl. Crew members from A Simple Favor have alleged she was cruel on set. A fourth assistant director said she cried on the way home many nights and eventually quit the business because she couldn't handle the constant put-downs. Think about that. Blake Lively was the star with all the money, all the influence, and she allegedly chose to humiliate someone who couldn't even defend themselves. That's not diva behavior. That's smallness disguised as power. Go back further, to Gossip Girl. Fans who hung around set noticed the difference. Leighton Meester would stop for photos, laugh with fans, treat them like people. Blake, cold, dismissive, passive-aggressive. Even interns claimed she ignored them like they didn't exist. She wasn't just private or reserved. She was reportedly nasty. And when fans saw the contrast side by side, the story wrote itself. Blake was the star who couldn't be bothered with the people who helped make her famous. Then came her infamous promo tour for It Ends With Us. Instead of promoting the film, she spent more time snapping at reporters, deflecting simple questions, and melting down over being asked about her pregnancy, something she flaunts online every chance she gets. When a journalist congratulated her on her little bump, she didn't just brush it off. She turned it into a lecture about sexism and fashion, embarrassing someone with no real power in front of cameras. That moment went viral, and not because Blake looked strong. In my opinion, it was because she looked petty, fragile, and unwilling to handle the most basic part of press: answering questions. And this is why Megyn Kelly's takedown lands so hard. Blake can't hide behind the idea that all her bad press was orchestrated by Baldoni. Too many people, in too many settings, have said the same thing. Crew members, fans, journalists, co-workers. The pattern stretches over years. Baldoni didn't invent that. He just happened to be the one stuck working beside her when it finally blew up. But Blake's arrogance won't let her see it. That's why she lashed out with subpoenas. That's why she accused Megyn Kelly of being secretly funded. That's why she allegedly believed Taylor Swift and Reynolds could act as her dragons, ready to scare people into silence. Except now, Taylor Swift has reportedly walked away. That so-called dragon wanted nothing to do with Blake's lawsuits or her Hollywood meltdown. That friendship, once a PR boost, has now turned into another burned bridge. And Ryan? He's still there, but his silence speaks volumes. Every time Blake swings at another journalist or YouTuber, Ryan's wholesome nice guy brand takes another hit. Because when your spouse is targeting small creators and you say nothing, you're complicit. You're not the charming Hollywood golden boy anymore. It just feels like you're the guy bankrolling the bully. And maybe that's what Blake doesn't realize. These legal stunts don't just make her look desperate, they make Ryan look weak. The man who built his empire on sarcasm and charm suddenly looks like a fraud, hiding behind his wife's tantrums and hoping nobody connects the dots. But people already are. The court of public opinion isn't just turning on Blake, it's starting to turn on him too. So what's left for Blake Lively? She wanted to look powerful, but to me, she looks fragile. She wanted to prove she was the victim, but she looks like the aggressor. She wanted to intimidate Megyn Kelly, but Megyn Kelly destroyed her so thoroughly that the entire legal stunt feels laughable. And the fallout is only growing. Every creator she tries to silence is going to speak louder. Every subpoena she files will become another headline. Every accusation she makes that falls apart under scrutiny will live online forever. This isn't narrative control. This is, in my opinion, reputation suicide. Blake Lively isn't silencing critics. She's proving exactly why she has so many. And every time she lashes out, she makes Baldoni's counterclaim stronger. She isn't fighting back against a smear campaign. She's handing her critics fresh ammunition every time she opens her mouth. The truth is simple. Blake doesn't need Baldoni or YouTubers to ruin her. She's doing it all by herself, and the more she denies it, the faster her empire crumbles. So what do you think? Is Blake Lively really this clueless, or is she just addicted to humiliating herself in public? Let me know below. Hit like, hit subscribe, and stay tuned. Because this isn't just drama, it's a slow-motion car crash. And in my opinion, Blake's the one behind the wheel with her foot on the gas.